How are we all doing? Sorry I'm late. I suddenly had a panic this morning that I completely forgot it was 7:45 and not 8 o'clock. So, yeah, I was downstairs, 20 to 8, and I suddenly went, I think I'm on at 1:45. So, yeah, sorry about that. Bit of a panic. I haven't looked at anything, haven't done any prep, so we'll go through everything this morning. How is everybody? 16 people. Where is everybody, more importantly? Too early, isn't it, for people, this one? Morning, Church. How are we doing? Callum, Mumo, Evil, Law, George, Reverend, Gregors. Today is PMI day. So we looked, obviously, yesterday we looked through the impact of everything in the US session of what happened yesterday. So today basically is just have a look at a recap of the week, look at what we've got coming up today. And just see what's happened, really. So yesterday, we obviously had the shock from the SMB again. They always do that. They keep doing that. 1.25 on a 1.5 forecast. So obviously a big drop in the Swissy yesterday. The pound, we got the rate as expected, which could have gone either way. And the votes didn't change. So basically with the pound at the moment, as you can see yesterday, we had a rally against the pound, so a weak pound, but not dramatic. There wasn't anything really, as you can see, with pound odd. Pound CAD came down, but there wasn't a massive amount of movement on this pound. That's the Swiss franc, obviously. So, yeah, nothing really changes with the pound yesterday. A little bit more bearish than bullish. Other than that, that was pretty much it yesterday. So today, we have had retail sales this morning, which came out as a good positive. So, of course, because they came out as a good positive, the pound is dropping. Yeah, that's what happens when we get positive news. Anyway, so market still tanking the pound, basically, regardless of what the retail sales say. So today is... complete. I need to just turn off the EAs. Sorry, one sec. Let me just remember to do that. Turn auto trading off. So today we have PMIs. So I'm not trading the open this morning because obviously it's news at 8:15. So the likelihood is we're not going to get a massive move at the open. However, saying that, it is a quadruple witching today, or triple witching plus a bit extra. Quadruple witching, which is options expiry, multiple options expiries all landing on the same day. So we tend to get a huge move in the markets today. So be aware of that. ADRs could be off the scale today in the US dollar specifically, and the stock indices will go mental. So up to you if you want to trade anything today, but stock indices specifically, you can see the FTSE is already going this morning. The DAX is dropping as well. If you look at the US indices, not a massive move pre-market on those at the moment. But don't be surprised to see this down here somewhere or up there somewhere, yeah. Multiple ADR days on triple witchings, not unusual at all. So if you do get into anything on indices and it starts to go your way, stick a break even on it, go and do something else and come back later, because the likelihood is you'll be heavily in profit on it. But we'll wait and see what happens. So we're going to watch the open this morning. But the problem we've got obviously with the open is the news comes out for PMIs at 8:15. So the euro could have quite a sharp move. We got the French and the German. So 8:30, we'll have a complete overview of the PMI figures for Europe. That's when the market will probably start to make a move on the euro, and the stock market will tend to move as well. But we'll wait and see what happens. We've got 8 minutes to the open. 9 o'clock, we've got the euro flash estimates, which are orange because we know what they'll be, because it's basically an amalgamation of that. We've got the pound at 9:30, so there's a potential for them to start to unwind some of the pound movement from yesterday or continue that. And then 2:45 we've got the US PMIs this afternoon. Same thing applies there. Market opens at 2:30. We've got PMI numbers coming out at 2:45. So we're going to get some movement off the back of that. If it hasn't already gone, there's a likelihood the market will have already gone way before that anyway, because of what's happening with options expiries. So we'll see what happens, but that is this week done. So it's PMIs today, busy day. So be prepared for some ADRs today as well. So the upshot of this week basically is strength for Aussie and New Zealand based on the rates not changing for the Aussie, and the RBA coming out and saying they may need to put another rate increase on it. So there's a potential to put another 0.25 on that one. So Aussie and New Zealand basically both have said pretty much the same thing, slightly bullish. The US remains neutral. Nothing really has changed at all on the US this week. We've hit CPI for the pound, but they've said that they're not going to be dropping rates until August. So we are kind of neutral to bearish now for the pound. The Swiss, not a clue. They will do what the hell they like. So every time you get a news event on the Swiss franc, it will do what it wants. And they've now said also they're going to do interventions this week. So they will just move the Swiss franc where they want to, when they want to, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if you're trading the Swiss, it's just going to go wherever it wants. So that is basically, think of it like a balloon that you've just let go. It could go absolutely anywhere, and you just need to hold on tight if you're going to trade it. So I'm still staying out of the Swissy at the moment. For position trading, if you've got any stop loss based strategies you want to use, no problem. Obviously, because if it's going to move fast and hard, you're going to make some serious money out of it. But position trading, not the best thing in the world. And obviously we'll get a better idea on inflation when we get the PMI numbers today. If the pound PMI numbers come out as lower than forecast, that's going to come down. So that might put more pressure on that reducing in July. So we'll wait and see what the PMIs are today as well. But if they come out negative, I think you'll find you get a fairly decent drop on the pound today, but we'll wait and see. So that's this week. So everything neutral, euro bearish, pound sort of bearish, but the Aussie is bullish. Overnight news, obviously with the Bank of Japan, we've had them saying yesterday that they are closely monitoring FX movements. We're back to the old, the usual. We do not want you to push against us any further. That's what they said yesterday morning. Yesterday, the market did that. So if we get bullish PMI figures on the US today and that pushes, that is the intervention level, this blue line, which is last month's high, which is 160. That is 150 ADR. We can hit that today. So I'm watching this very, very closely. I'm very, very, very tempted to get into a short, but I want them to push more towards that level. So overnight news, as you can see, there's not a lot here. Here we go. No, there is. Sorry. So Canada to take necessary action on foreign exchange if needed. Intervention. No problem with Japan's approach in US report on foreign exchange. Don't know what that is. But basically sees intervention as not altering underlying trend, which we know. So basically intervention has failed. So confirms readiness to take action. So again, Japan coming out basically and saying, push us, we will push back. So it's exactly the same situation as we were in before when they did the intervention moves. So that's where they did them from last time. We're 125 ADR away. 2 days running now. Canada has come out and said, we're going to do it again. So nothing but bearish on it. But will it? Is it that level? When? Not a clue. So it's a case of trying to build a position and hold it for as short a possible time as you can, because the swaps on it are going to kill your account. So very, very hard trade to pull off. But yeah, that's the play on the yen. CPI numbers came down. meaning that there's less inflationary pressure, which means they don't have to put interest rates up as much, which makes Japanese yen bearish. Again, US dollar yen bullish, which will head more towards that level. 2 minutes to the open. So that was basically the upshot of the overnight action. Basically, is Japan saying they're going to intervene again. There's the retail sales on the pound. We've got Oada speaking. We need to watch the FX impact on prices and growth. Same thing. Yeah, we must be vigilant to financial and FX market developments and their impact on the economy and prices. Do not push us, we push back. Same thing. So yeah, watch this yen today. If this pushes today, I think I'm going to take a short. It's the sort of trade I really want to take on the FTMO account as well, because it will basically pass the evaluation, which is fantastic. I just don't want to do it yet. Tell you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to place a sell stop. Actually, can I place two? Yeah, go for it. I'm going to place two sell stop orders. What am I on? Daily here. So yesterday's low, and then I'll add another one somewhere around there. So basically, if there is an intervention, I'm just going to try and get gathered up on some orders, basically. Trouble with these intervention moves is they can spike back. So if you get triggered and slipped, you get your entry there and then it pulls back. That blows your account intraday. So they're bloody risky trades, obviously, as we know. But do I even want to go higher than that? I mean, it's got to push up to get to intervention, isn't it? So yeah, so that's the intervention level. Whoops, I'm just going to move one of these orders up, actually. Underneath the low of the day, basically. So we're forming a propulsion gap here on the daily. Right, let's have a quick look at these markets. What's happened? So a big sell-off on the FTSE at the open. DAX. Selling off as well. Pre-market. You'd have struggled to get one, I think, today. 240. 222, yeah. So the pre-market range was too low. Actually, I've turned the EA off, so those figures are probably wrong, aren't they? Or are they? I don't know. Yeah, don't know. If you took the break at the open, you're short. You're long on the FTSE. Interesting. So fairly decent break this morning so far. We'll wait and see what happens. This might just whipsaw straight back. Good morning, everybody. I haven't said good morning to. Dave, Monkey, Freeman, Beginia, FTSE, Puking, yeah. Amy, Neo, Steve, Wojciech, Sarah, morning. Good morning, morning, lean and all. Okay. Not been called lean before. That's a new one. So not a massive move at the moment. Let's just see what's happening in the US. Yeah, Dow's selling off hard already this morning. So is the FTSE. Look. Just be careful. Basically today, but you don't have to apologize. I was only joking. Today, basically, forget mean reversion. Pretend mean reversion doesn't exist. Go with the flow. Yeah. If this is an option, it's a triple witch in options expiry day. They are just basically going to exit, or well, they are going to exit every position that they've got on basically and roll it. So it will only go one way and it will stay that way. Yeah. So it's the type of day you do not do mean reversion. You try and get on the move if you can, but pullbacks are not often. Flags, if you're lucky. That's that type of day, basically. You find it very hard. I find it impossible to trade these days because I'm not the type of person that can just jump on a move that's already underway to that extent. You know, something goes that far, I'm like, well, I want it to pull back before I get in. It just will collapse. But when it goes, you just don't know when it's going to happen. This is the problem. Is this it, or is this something that is just happening at the open, and then we're going to wait until about 4 o'clock and do it then? Just happens. It's weird. FTSE temporarily suspended with your broker, is it? Not sure why. It's only a 33. It's not even half an ADR, that hourly candle. We've had plenty of those. Shouldn't be any reason to suspend the FTSE. I think I may be broken. Right. Well, I'll come back to the open in a second. So ADRs today, there are none. You are going to get some ADRs today, I suspect. It's PMI day. PMI day is always busy. And obviously it's the triple witching expiry, which will probably affect the US. And if that US gets affected, other currencies will get affected by pulling out and pushing into the US, or vice versa. So you'll get a lot of movement potentially today. At some point when it will come, we'll have to wait and see. RSIs, we looked at these yesterday. I'm not going to go through all the RSIs. There's no point, because the vast majority of this doesn't look like it is now, Swiss based. Yeah, so we had obviously the Swiss RSI extensions. So the CAD yen is still extended on the 4 hour. That's the Swiss. That's why I was looking at that thinking, no, it's not. It's not the CAD. The CAD yen is extended massively. That is a beautiful short. So if you're going to take a trade on the yen, it's either US yen or CAD yen. Obviously, US yen is the one that's going to move the most, because that's what the Japanese will liquidate, US overseas bonds. So that's the one that's going to come down the fastest if it happens. But all these yens, obviously, as we know, are very extended. This yen is getting absolutely trounced. So very, very difficult to get into them. Aussie New Zealand is also very extended on the 4 hour. It is basing out now here. We're going into a little bit of an accumulation. So good chance we're going to get a pullback into propulsion. So that's a good short. I've got that one on the FTMO account, but I haven't managed to get anywhere on it as yet. Don't think I've got it on here. Not trading that on here. So CAD Swiss also extended on the 4 hour, but this is part of this Swiss move. So I can't see them stopping this Swiss weakness for the foreseeable. Any kind of pullback would be lovely to get into, but I'm not playing with the Swiss personally. So the Swiss, nice extensions on a few of those. Euro CAD and Euro odd are extended on the 4 hour. These are bearish. I am short only on the EAs. So I'm looking for pullbacks to get in short. So I'm not taking longs on anything Euro personally, but to pull back, obviously, it has to go up. So if you want to mean revert them, fine. I'm just personally going to get in on those moves. But they are extended, Euro CAD and Euro odd, both good opportunities for longs. The pound odd, also extended to the downside. That's in propulsion. Pound, obviously, reaction yesterday wasn't great. Seems to me the market wants to be slightly bearish on the pound, regardless of news at the moment, because we had those positive retail numbers this morning and it's tanked a little bit. So all of these extensions are pretty good. So pound odd and pound CAD. I've got the pound CAD on, basically. Is that one. So that is an H1M5 entry. So entry there on yesterday's. So I got out of all of the pound CAD shorts yesterday. So I'm now flat short, so flipped long. And just looking for a push back up. As you can see, my target is there, which is that propulsion gap, which is below that support break. So that's where I'm targeting to the upside on that. So that's a good extension. You can also take the pound odd as well. However, the Australian dollar is a lot more bullish than the CAD. So this one's got a lot more chance of going down, a lot more strength on it, basically, because the Australian dollar still potentially could have an interest rate rise in it, but it is very extended. Look, it's been extended and embedded down at that 30 level for a good we're going into the 4th day now. So if you got in there, you're probably in a couple of positions. You've got an ADR, so you're probably in 2 on this. Obviously, the second entry will be somewhere around this area here. So that'll be your target to the upside, that propulsion gap, nicely below all of this support. So target there is perfect on that one. And obviously the US dollar yen is very extended as well. Which I want to see, basically, if this gets up towards ADR today, and this is probably not going to happen until PMIs, which is 245. So if we get up to there this afternoon, I think I'm probably going to take a quick short. And then what I will do is there's no point in waiting for any kind of reversal alert or any kind of weakness on this. You want to be selling on the way up, because if the intervention comes, obviously, you're not going to get a signal to go short because you'll have missed a 300 to 400 ADR move. So you've got to get in while it's going up. The whole purpose of this trade is it's an anticipation of a second intervention at 160. So as we approach that level, that's where I'm going to start getting in. And then what I will do is I will scatter some orders within a couple of hundred ADR. So if an intervention move comes, I'm very unlikely to happen today, but if an intervention move comes today or at some point in the next couple of days, the idea being try and build that size as it comes down. But obviously, the more positions you have, the more expensive it's going to be because the swaps are ridiculous. So, but I want to see it approaching this level because at the moment, they're talking about intervention because we're approaching the level. If the market does that for the next 3 days, they're not going to do anything, are they? Yeah. So I want to see it, really threatening the Japanese. So I'll wait and see on that one. Right. Let's have a look at the markets. So there's your opening range gone in on the FTSE and the DAX. So if you took the pre-market range, you broke short, probably got 1 hour out of that ish. If you took the actual 5-minute range, you've probably just triggered a long. Same on the FTSE. So as I said, not a lot of real momentum at the open because there's not going to be, because we're waiting for this news at 8:15, which comes up in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's your first news of the morning. So the French PMI numbers obviously come out first, followed by the German at 30:30. So the market will tend to make a reaction or proper move after 8:30 when it's got both of these together, because it then knows what the Eurozone PMI numbers are going to be, and it knows then what potentially is going to happen to that euro. Whatever happens to that euro tends to send the stocks in the opposite direction. So we'll wait and see what comes up with these numbers. Forecasts are ever such slight increases, which falls in line with what Lagarde has been saying. They're expecting a bounce on CPI. And obviously PMI feeds into CPI, which feeds into interest rates. So they are expecting a bounce. So we're forecasting a slight bullish move on the euro, which would be bearish indices. So we'll see what happens. But that's coming out in 3 minutes. So if we watch Euro US, what's my exposure on the euro? I've got 1 long. So actually, what have I got on? Euro pound. So looking for that gap fill on the euro pound, which is 125 ADR. My FTMO account, I've actually stuck a break even on this trade now below today's low, because I've now been in the trade for 8 days. And as you can probably see down here, the swaps are now £166. So I've just stuck a break even on it, basically, because if this does not get this gap fill done today on these PMI numbers, I just don't think we're going anywhere. So there's no point in holding the trade because it's just costing swaps. So we'll see. But hopefully we get a bull move on the euro today. We'll see in a minute. If anybody's got any pairs they want to look at specifically, let me know. Other than that, there's not really a lot else to discuss today because it is literally going to be chaos. PMIs, triple witching, basically every order for the entire month being placed today. It'll be fun. Morning, Chucks, JC, Trade Prime, morning. So we've got 1 minute, 20 seconds till news. Just realised I didn't check for new entries today. I'll do that in a minute. Spreads widening on the euro pound. Very exciting. Oh, there's everybody. We've got 50 people in here now. That's good. While you're waiting for the news, why not use your thumbs? Oh, John. Morning, Samjo. Sajmo even. Sajmo. He's listed with names. 30 seconds to news. Bit of volatility coming in. Ooh, bearish, big bear number. Gap down. So that is a bear negative number on the euro, on the French anyway. See what the market does with this. If anything, it doesn't usually go particularly fast until the German numbers out because they want to see the whole picture. Basically, sort of 80% odd of the entire euro CPI and PMI numbers and everything are made up of French and German because French and Germany are the biggest manufacturers and exporters. So the rest of the Eurozone, you kind of makes up a very small amount of the figures in financial terms. So it's all about the French and the German, which is why those are the two that get reported. So yeah, negative numbers, 45.3 on a 46.8, 48.8 on a 50. So the services, which tends to have the most impact from France, is 1.2 percentile miss. So German would be more about manufacturing. It's obviously all about cars. So that's the one we're looking at on Germany, but it's a miss. So you would expect a drop in the euro on that because if those PMI numbers are all coming out negative, that will tend to feed into the CPI numbers being negative, which they are forecasting to bounce. And if those CPI numbers come out as negative, instead of waiting on interest rates, they will drop interest rates again, potentially. So if we do get double negative from France and Germany today, we could see a fairly bearish move on this euro. So DAX, not a lot of impact. So we've broken long on the FTSE. So pull back into that propulsion move yesterday being bought up again. Same there. They bought that yesterday. Then they've bought it again on the DAX. So rally today. If we break that high, we'll be off. So wait until 8:30 and see what the next set of numbers comes out at. If we get a negative again there, I think we might get a drop on that euro, which would be interesting. So no real reaction to it, obviously, as you can see at the moment. We've had a bit of a gap down, but I think particularly exciting. Morning, Sati. Hi, JC. New to your stream, liking it. Who's JC? Oh, you said hello to JC. Okay. Fine. Don't say hello to anyone else, will you? Morning, Franco. You're late. US dollar CAD. So yeah, US dollar CAD. We've had quite a lot of down days on this. This Canadian should be weakening off the back of the interest rate drop. I've got a long on at the moment on the H1 RSI extension, which got taken this morning. So I need to put a target on that. Will be there. So targeting that upside propulsion gap, 125 ADR. But I will see where we are today. Obviously, it's PMI day. So if we get bullish PMI figures, that's going to get hit anyway. So that'll be a TP. If we get bearish PMI figures, obviously, I'll just have to deal with it and scale in. We've got loads of propulsion and loads of support coming up. So there's a really good support area there. That's a break of that height. We've got, obviously, the 3-week low coming up and the monthly low coming up. Yeah, so this whole area here is a support zone. This whole area here is a resistance zone. So bang in the middle at the moment. So either the PMI takes it to target or the PMI drops it and scale in down at this level and get out on the push back up. One or t'other. But either way on this, have no problem trading the US dollar CAD in either direction, as you can see. Been shorting it, been longing it, been shorting it, been longing it, been shorting it, longing it, shorting it, longing it, shorting it, longing it. Didn't take that short. Oh, because it wasn't one. Yeah, so longed it there. Didn't get a short signal. Another long. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again and make money. There is no real bias on this, basically. US is neutral. CAD is now bearish because interest rates have dropped, but they're not saying they're going to continue to drop rates, and they're not saying they're going to be linked to the US. So these two are just going to continue to do this. There's no fundamental reason why either of these should take off in any direction at all until we get some news out of the Fed as to when they are actually going to change interest rates, which they're just not interested in giving us at the moment. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just going to stay neutral and bearish, neutral and bullish or bearish, whichever way you want to go. Morning, Leshy. Morning, Vitali. When did we start? What did I miss? I don't know. 7:45. 35 minutes ago, yes. Live room on the website. It's also in Discord and Telegram every day. Yeah, and the schedule is there. It's not changing. That's it. Every week is going to be exactly the same now. So 8 o'clock Mondays, 2:15 Tuesdays, 8 o'clock Wednesdays, 2:15 Thursdays, and 7:45 on a Friday. But that's normally trading DAX and the FTSE. But today is a triple witching day, so I'm not trading the indices. And we got too much PMI news this morning to get any reliable break. Will you be live for US PMI numbers? No. Interesting what your thoughts would be on a triple witching along with PMI numbers in real time. It doesn't matter what I say, does it? Basically, on triple witching days, there's a banging going on. Oh, they're doing scaffolding next door. My next door neighbor basically is having something done to her roof. So the scaffolding people putting up poles, which is very noisy. So triple witching days, basically, if there's average price movement of Apple in 10 days before and after a triple witching day. Help us, does it? I'm just going to see if there's any triple witching charts, basically. But if you go and look at previous triple witching days, doesn't make any difference. the markets will tend to move dramatically. Yeah. So PMI days obviously are always usually busy. If you get a deviation, if you don't get a deviation and you get a forecast, you don't really get a lot of movement. So as long as you're getting deviations, you tend to get decent movement, and that will tend to go in the direction it should do. So we've got red numbers on the Eurozone so far for France. Should be bearish because PMI numbers precede CPI numbers. CPI numbers precede inflation. Yeah. And if interest rates rather. Interest rates. PMIs precede CPI, yeah, which is consumer price index, which is inflation, which precedes interest rates. Yeah, so these numbers, when they come out as negative, tend to feed into that. So if the forecast for that is going to be negative, the forecast for that is a drop in interest rates. A drop in interest rates reduces currency strength. So basically, these numbers coming out red based on the euro already dropping. Yeah, if we get a negative CPI number, which they're not expecting off the back of these PMIs, we should see a drop in the euro. So, but with a triple witching, the options expiries will trump everything. Yeah, there are going to be trillions and trillions of dollars of interest rate options expiries happening, which is basically orders being placed into and out of the stock markets. Everything goes crazy. You go in the direction of whatever the movement is. So if something suddenly takes off, you buy it and you don't stop buying it. Yeah. So there's your for Trade Prime that's just asked what a triple witching is. I'm not going to go through it, but there's a link. So it's basically expiring, just everything expiring on the same day. Yeah, options. It's all to do with options markets, which isn't something I get involved in. But you don't need to be involved in it. What you need to know is what impact it has on everything. It goes nuts. Good day to go to the pool hall and drink. Exactly, Franco. It's basically a gamble day, yeah? So on a triple witching day, markets, it affects mainly the US markets. As you can see, the US markets are already off, yeah? They're not even open, and they're already moving very, very quick, yeah? So I would say sell all the US markets. But the New York Open is when you're really going to get the movement. So, and because you've got PMIs pushing and pulling in the opposite directions, if all these PMI numbers send, for example, if the stock market starts to sell off and then the PMI numbers all come out as positive and send the US dollar rallying, the stock markets will accelerate down faster. Yeah. So this is why on these triple witching days, you can get 300, 400 ADR moves, like super days where it just doesn't stop. But I've also seen days where it doesn't do a lot. And it all depends on the activity prior with the options market before the day. Basically, it's the last day. It's like the sale day. If you don't get out today, you're not making any money. There is no option. You get out, basically. That's it. So it's just a hell of a lot of orders. But it tends to be done in like, yeah, all of a sudden it will just go and you'll be like, what? But you can't predict anything. So it's literally gambling. Just literally, you're taking a punt. Next news, 3 minutes. So again, we'll watch the euro, pound, might as well, because I'm in it. We'll see where we go on the German numbers. I would anticipate them probably being bearish as well. So we might get a drop in this euro, which is annoying because I'm at break even on this euro pound. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do the gap fill, but I'm wondering if they might just pop up and do the gap fill and then turn tail and run today. I remember what you said, have been dancing with it all week. All good dollars. Thank you. Yeah. We'll see what happens today be interesting. So I'm just going to wait for this news to get out of the way, and then I'm going to just quickly look and see if I want to take any new trades on the FTMO. In fact, I might do that while I'm waiting for the news, just in case it moves on the news. I want to short that. CAD yen, euro odd, and euro CAD. Got euro pound long. Don't really want to get any more exposure on the euro, euro yen, pound odd, and pound CAD. Short on the pound. Go long pound CAD. It's already gone. US CAD. Those. Dollar yen. I'm going to take the US dollar yen if it drops. Basically, got pendings set on that. Okay. Euro, we got 30 seconds. Market starting to get a bit jittery. Spread coming in. Negative German numbers as well. Euro CAD weekly range just hit. It's Friday, so it doesn't really matter. Not a particularly big reaction at the moment. Give it a couple of minutes. This is a stop loss basically on that position, just to break even on that position. Was it a lower position? Hang on. Yeah, no, it's that position. So basically, if it does drop, I'm not going to go into drawdown on that position. I will just add it back in when we get some bull action. But we'll see if it gets hit. So numbers are 43.4, which is that's a big miss on manufacturing. That's a really big miss on manufacturing. That's the main export from Germany. So yeah, big negative news there. And services also dropped by 0.9. So PMI numbers coming down, which means cost of producing goods is dropping, which means that prices can drop, which means that CPI can drop, which means they can drop interest rates faster. So this is all bearish euro. So these Eurozone figures, the flashes, will come out as the same. So might get a bear run today on the euro, but we'll see what happens. DAX, very little movement. Better as a doornail today. Right, so we'll see what happens with that euro. So those trades are just taken on the FTMO account are basically daily. Well, that US dollar yen's dropping quite quick. What's going on there? It's rolling over. So we've got reversal alert and retest. If we break that low, I think we might flush out today. So I'm going to take a short peek. On the yen, it is on this account though. So, and I will be having a stop loss on it. In fact, I just need to put a stop on that. $1,600. What it is. That's 1%, basically, just over 1% risk. So those trades that I've just taken there are pound CAD, which is daily RSI 2 long, and US dollar CAD, which is the same, which is a daily RSI 2 long as well. So I'm just going to put stops on those. I've already put stops on them. Yeah. Nice. Probably get a bit more size on that one, can't I? Just going to put some more size on that one. Half the stop. So today, if we do get a massive, big, strong move on that US dollar in either direction, obviously we'll make some serious money today. Triple witching pays off. Aussie dollar is starting to push back down again against New Zealand as well, which is nice. Been in that now for 3 days. It's just not doing anything at the minute. But yeah, 4% this month so far on the FTMO. Obviously, I've only been running it for 6 days. When did I take the first trade? 4th of June, I opened it. So 7th of June. 2 weeks. Bad. US dollar yen starting to roll over. So yeah, euro pound. We got 2 gaps now on this. Look. So both news is gapped down. So not looking good for the euro. Should have got out of it, the euro pound, but meh. I have to hold it for a bit longer. Euro pound has been a pain in the backside this year so far. But not a lot you can do about that. I see 2 RSI. Yeah. So my new favorite thing. I might even re-record the bootcamp and just go RSI 2 instead of dropping. I'll drop everything else. RSI 2. Totally different strategy though. It is always using a stop loss. So it's the only stop loss based strategy that works, as far as I know. In my testing, anyway. You've seen me test many things in here over the years. I've built EAs to test everything, and I never find anything. I do all this development work, all this testing, all this robustness testing, and I throw every strategy away because none of them work. RSI 2 is the only one I've found that uses a stop loss that actually can produce alpha. So I'm giving it a go. And as my friend that is trading it has given me the way that he trades it, it seems to be bloody good. So we will see, though. Proof is in the forward testing. Back testing is always great. You can do whatever you like in back testing, but doing it real cash, real life, totally different kettle of fish. Morning, Guna. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, producing profits so far, looking good at the minute. Oh, look, I've just banked 620. More money just gone in my bank. What was that? What happened there? CAD Swiss. Stopped out. Yeah, so that was that. Basically, I just put a stop on that because it didn't seem to be going anywhere. So just banked 600, which is 0.4%. It's worth having. So 4.39 banked now. Getting there slowly. Can I explain the RSI 2 strategy again? Yes. When the market moves and the RSI 2 indicator gets extended beyond the 90 level and the 10 level, like this, you go long below 10 and short above 90 at the end of the day. I've just triggered a US dollar yen short. Doing my Wallace panic face. I really don't want to be short on the US dollar yen again. We'll see. That's it. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if that is below there, buy it. Wait. As soon as you get green, take it, put it there. That's it. Simple as that. If it goes down, Discord has just been attacked. Is it? Give up with it. Yeah. I'll have a look in a minute and try and delete it all. If it keeps going on, I'm just shutting all my socials down. I can't be asked. The reason I stopped using Telegram is because it's just nothing but spam and scammers. If the same as Discord, I'm just going to shut it all down. People can email me. I really can't be bothered with it. It takes up too much time. So yeah, it's literally that simple. Get in, wait. If it goes against you, you get out at 1 ADR, 1.5 ADR, half an ADR, 2 ADR, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. I've tested it all. It all works. So get out at some point, but use ADR. Yeah. So if the average daily range of this thing is that, do not set your stop loss within the average daily range. Set it outside the average daily range, because if you're going to move up and down for a couple of days and do nothing, you don't want to get stopped out just because it's moving. So basically get in. So that US dollar CAD trade, I'll show you that US dollar CAD trade. Look, best way to explain it. US dollar CAD, RSI2 extension, gone long. Yeah, at the moment it's pushing up. If at the end of today it's gone up, I close it and I put the profit there. If it goes down, I wait and see if it comes back up again. If it doesn't, it hits my stop. But it's got an 83%, depending on how you do it, somewhere in the region of 80 to 85, 86% strike rate. So it's got a negative R. Yeah, the purpose of trading is to make money. If this closes here, I take money. Yeah, if we have a day like that, brilliant. If we have a day like that, all right, that's it. It's that simple. Just basically all Larry Connors did. Yeah. Yeah. And it's all that most people that make money do. They get into the market and then they get out when there's a profit. They don't have, oh, I've got a stop loss below the low, the swing low, and my risk reward ratio is 3-to-1. So I will get out when it gets to 3-to-1. If it moves to 1.5, I'll go to break even, because you're just going to get broken even. None of them do that. If it gets there, that is green, take it. Yeah. If you've got a strategy with a high strike rate, that is the strategy. Take the money. Yeah. Because the amount of times you're going to get stopped out, you're going to make money way more. And that money is down to what the market wants to give you. If the market wants to give you that much, brilliant. If the market wants to give you that much, oh, well, that's it. But take what the market gives you. Yeah. Don't sit here. I'm not going to sit here. I've got a TP. The reason I've got a TP there is in case we get one of those on the PMI numbers. If we don't get one of those on the PMI numbers, it's not going to hit that, is it? If it does hit that, fantastic. Unlikely to hit that. Look at the average daily range of this thing. Yeah. What's the best I could really hope for? Something like that, probably. But I'm not going to hold this for 5 days and hope it gets there. No point in hoping. Take it. Very simple. You can do all this with the Position Trader EA. Just set the Position Trader EA up to use 2 RSI, 90, 10 daily. Just let this do it. Very simple. And obviously get out when it goes against you. So yeah, all stops are on ADR. It's porn content. You might want to just remove it. No, what? I'll go and have a look at it. I know, it was the same as yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? For me, it's a blocked message. It shows as a blocked message. Probably the same person. Yeah, it's Wiseman. I've already blocked him. So you can't stop this. Yeah. Wiseman posted 2 days ago all this porn content. So I blocked it, banned it. So I banned the account, deleted all the content, which takes ages. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 odd servers I've got to go through now and delete them individually, which takes 3 clicks per post. Discord, useless for this sort of thing anyway. And basically they just set up a new account called Wiseman. and then they come back in and do it again. It's impossible to stop it. And I've got spam bots running, which obviously don't work. So if it becomes the bane of my life, I'm not spending 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day just deleting crap. I'll just get rid of it. And screw socials. Basically, social media is just built for scammers. I'm pretty sure the guys that own Facebook and X and all this lot, they're all gangsters. They're all basically committing crime, aren't they? They basically set these platforms up so everyone can get ripped off, because that's all that happens. Telegram, thousands and thousands of dollars have been paid to Russian gangsters who are pretending to be me in Telegram, and people fall for it, give all the money, contact me and go, where's my indicator you said you were going to send me? I paid the Bitcoin. I don't accept Bitcoin. Wake up. I can't do anything about it. I just can't be asked. I'm too old. I've got stuff to do. Make some of your group moderators. Could do. Who do you trust? Yeah, I had somebody in my group previously in Telegram, really regular, was in YouTube all the day, went off, ripped off my entire strategy, all of my products, posted a new website up with all of my work and tried to rip me off. I don't trust anybody in this industry, and I'm never going to, unfortunately, because every time I have, I've been stabbed in the back. And if he's in here, he knows who he is. But, you can't trust anyone, so I can't be bothered. Who did that? I'm not going to go into that. He knows who he is. He has a solicitor's letter, and he will be receiving a court summons if he does it again. Always take dollars on the table. Yes, exactly. But that's the whole purpose of this job, isn't it? Take the money. Yeah, the money's got to be big enough for you to actually do something with it, obviously. So all the RSI2 strategy is you're playing on the fact that something has moved quickly for a few days. Yeah. So if you look at the whole purpose of Larry Connor's original strategy was on the S&P 500. So it was a long only strategy. So the whole purpose of it is when you've got a few down days in a row, it's rare that you get more than a three. There's a strategy called the 3 down day as well. Yeah. So you get the 3 down days and then you go long. This you'll find will give very similar signals to the 3 down day strategy because it's the same principle. Market will pull back after a strong move. Yeah. So it's playing on that fact, but what it doesn't have is any directional bias whatsoever. It's literally, if something's going to go down, it's going to go down like that. Yeah. So all you're taking is something. You're not looking for a big, long move. You're looking for a quick, sharp buck, but it's going to be right a lot. That's the edge of the strategy, is the strike rate. It's a completely random, hopeful strategy with a high strike rate. So you just take whatever cash is there. So getting out, and I'm getting out intraday. So if I see something like that today, I'll look at the P&L and go, yeah, I'll have it. It might do that, and it might get there and then pull back and end up down here somewhere. You know, you just don't know what it's going to do intraday. Look at this day here. Yeah, anybody that was long that day, kicking themselves. They probably had a bucket of profit there, but it ended bare. And then the next day, they were like, oh, brilliant, it is going my way. Oh, crap. And then the next day, they're like, did I take it? No. Yeah, so these intraday moves are where RSI2 can make a serious amount of money. So if you target something like half an ADR of movement to the upside, your strike rate is going to be vastly higher than if you target 1 ADR or 1.5 ADR. So you can set TPs at half an ADR, or as I'm doing, just check the charts every now and again and manually take the profit. Or wait for the end of the day and close out end day. There is no right and wrong. As I say, I've tested everything. I've done a robustness test on this with 16,000 tests per instrument, and doesn't really matter how you get out. You can get out on intraday moves with a target. You can get out on end of day. You can get out on opposite RSI extension. So wait for it to get to RSI2. You can scale in with multiple positions. You can take one position only. You can use a stop loss that's anything from half an ADR to 5 ADR. They all generate profit because the whole purpose of the strategy is intraday movement, which it does every day. So it's just everybody hates the RSI indicator, and I don't know why, because most of the people that have used it in the past have become incredibly profitable with it. But who knows? Risking 1 to 2% of your capital. Yeah, whatever you want, really. It's got a high strike rate. So with high strike rate strategies, you can use high risk. Yeah, you're not going to get high returns. Yeah, so the alpha on it is basically the risk reward ratio on it is about 7.9. It's huge, but the number of trades taken and the time in trade is small. So you have to go in with big money, because if you go in with like 0.25% risk or something, you're not going to generate enough revenue out of the strategy. It takes on average about 60 odd trades a month. And you've got a good strike rate on them, but the reward is low. Yeah, people think that high strike rate strategies are incredibly profitable. They're not. So on any day, I could take profit wise. So if I risk $1,000 on a trade, on any day, my risk is always going to be somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500. Yeah, so that's the risk on the table every day. My reward ranges from $10 to $2,500. Yeah, and everything in between. So yes, the strike rate might be 80+%, but my reward on those 66 trades could be $150 each, because I'm taking profit when it's there. That profit is a complete variable. The loss is always the same, but the loss, if you look at it and calculate it, on an average month, you've got 66 trades, call it 85%. You're going to have 10 losing trades. So your loss is going to be somewhere between 9 to 10,000. So as long as you can generate more than 9 to 10,000 in profit from the 50 odd trades that you get, that's the edge. But that profit is not going to be 1,000. So you're not going to generate 50,000 profit because you've got 50 trades. Those profits are not all going to be 1,000. If you went for a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio with it, you'll make more money, but you will lose more trades and the strike rate will drop. What's important with prop? Yeah, passing evaluations. What do you need to do? Bank consistently. Yeah, strike rate is key for prop. So you want to just take the money when it's there. So if this thing suddenly gets up to $500 or $600, I'm having it, because it chips away at this thing. If it drops down to here, look, I've got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days worth of breathing room. And if it comes back and makes $200, thank you. Simple. It's just a very, very simple strategy. And the beauty of using strategies like this, when you're back testing and robustness testing, is there is no variables. Yeah, we are saying we are going to use the RSI2 indicator with a 10 and a 90 extension. That's it. There's no other variable. The only variables you've got are, how do you want to get out? Where do you want to put your stop? There's no other moving parts in it. All these complicated strategies that say you've got to be above the 200 moving average, the RSI needs to be below there, you need to get a reversal, this, that, like my main strategy uses 2 indicators. That's it. RSI, reversal. I'm looking for a condition and a strength. That's it. Very simple. Works. If you start adding moving averages in, Bollinger Bands, volatility indicators, this, that, and the other, and the more indicators you introduce, the more variables you introduce, because every one of those indicators has multiple variables. So the combinations of things that can go wrong exponentially explodes. RSI2 is simple. Up or down. It's binary. The market is binary. It goes up, goes down. That's it. That's why it works. All the best strategies on the planet are binary. Yeah. Warren Buffett's S&P pullback strategy. Yeah. It consists of one thing. Has it been a down day? Yes. Buy it. Has it been a down day? Yes. Buy it. Has it been an up day? Yes. Sell it. He's the most successful trader on the planet. He does nothing but buy down days on an instrument that's manufactured to go up. So he has an edge in knowing that this thing goes up 80% of the time. Yeah. So all he does is if it goes down, and he buys it because he knows in 80% of the time it's going to go up. So if he keeps buying it when it comes down, when it goes up, he makes money. The amount of money he makes is not determined by anything but how far the market moves. So if he's got 7 positions on and it goes up and moves all 7 of those positions into profit on the same day, he makes a hell of a lot more than if only 4 of them go into profit. There is no moving parts. Buy it, sell it. And you're looking at the charts once a day for 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes before the market close, you look at it and go, it's a down day, buy, shut it, come back tomorrow. Best way to make money, isn't it? Don't do anything. Just don't complicate it. Risky 1 to 2% of your capital for also to, yeah, whatever you want. I've already answered that one, haven't I? Simplify life, exactly. Simplify life. Get out of social media. Social media just causes problems. Right. That's basically all I've got for today because there's not really a lot else happening until the PMIs. So Eurozone is coming out at 9 o'clock in 5 minutes. That will, is not unknown, but it's highly unusual for it not to replicate that because this makes up the vast majority of it. So we're expecting to get another negative there, but the market already knows that. So the likelihood of it moving on that is little. 9:30, you need to watch out for the pound. We're going to get the PMI figures on that one. And then US dollar this afternoon at 245. Okay, so that's your news for the rest of today. And obviously, because of the triple witching today, you are going to find a massive amount of volatility. It may not come, looks like it's starting, to be honest, but it may not come until the New York Open. But as you can see, the markets are selling off. So with triple witchings, there's a theory, although I'm not an expert on this in any way, shape or form, but there is a theory that you will undo the recent move with the triple witching move because this move here is caused by options purchasing. If you have to exit your options, you tend to exit your options in a profit, which means that it does the opposite. So at the moment, it seems to be doing what that theory says, but I'm not as I say, I don't trade options at all. I know very little about them. I just go on what people tell me. And again, don't trust me because I have no idea because I'm going on what other people have said and I have no idea what they are either. I don't know whether they're experienced, whether it's a load of rubbish, whether they've come up with something over the last month and gone, yeah, this is what happens. I don't know. Do your own research and due diligence into everything you do. Right, so I will leave it there. Basically, just looking to bank something today. So month is obviously on 0.61%. So I've dragged it back. So roughly 10% up this month, but obviously started the month with a massive 9% loss. So recouped all the losses this month. Have virtually no drawdown. Just waiting for something to move, basically. So hopefully today we'll get some movement where I can just get sort of another 1 or 2% in the bank. If I can get to 5% by the end of the month, job done. It's been a tough month. But we'll see what happens today. So take care out there today. And, you know, best thing to do today is something else, to be honest. Otherwise, you are just taking your life in your hands. They're blooming keyboard cowards. People like us here learning while the fools are messing around with our valuable time. Exactly. Go tell them. I need to find a way of doing mass deleting in Discord. I'm going to do a little bit of Googling because I've got a massive job to do now, which is deleting all of that shit out of the channel. And it's every bloody room. But if you want some free OnlyFans leaks of teen content, there's a post in the Discord channel you can go and check out. You realise all the light bulbs, over 70 people now, is there? 67, that'll do. Hang on, you know why that is? Because everybody did that. When everybody does that, YouTube goes, hey, he must be important. So hit the like button. 71. It worked. Look at that. Right. So anyway, I'm going now. So everybody that's just come in, bye. So yeah, I'll be back on Monday, and we'll have a look at week ahead. Just before I go, obviously week ahead. Just looking to see if there is anything Monday. There's nothing. So there's nothing on Monday. So on Monday we will go through what's coming up. It's CPI, Aussie CPI, CAD, US unemployment. That's about it. So it's a light news week next week, apart from CPI. CPI for the CAD is probably the biggest thing next week. So we'll have a look at all of that on Monday, and I will spend my entire weekend looking for other ways to block spam on Discord. If anybody knows anything, let me know on Discord. So yeah, have a good weekend. I'll be back Monday. We'll see how everything is going, and yeah, hopefully have a profitable day today. Have a good one.